Welcome to Backyard Cigars. So glad that you could join me once again. As today, I will introduce to you a cigar that was released in November of 2021. It was supposed to be released a little bit earlier than that for it to mark the significance of what it was celebrating, especially with the way the packaging was designed. That didn't quite happen. Nonetheless, it was released in November of 2021. This is Joya de Nicaragua 200. It's a limited edition. They did not add the años to the 200, which would make it 200 years, but instead just left it at 200. Now this is a Gran Toro or a Toro Extra, whatever you want to call it. It is 6x54. Some of the specs that you may see online may have it at 6x52, which is closer to a traditional Toro, not a Toro Extra or a Toro Grande. So we're going to get into the specs of this cigar in a little bit. First, I want to show you what the cigar looks like up close. And yes, it's lit. Haven't gotten into that first inch yet, but I'm headed that way. And as you can see, I'm going to be very careful here not to get burned. If I turn this around, what you see here, it says Obras Maestras. So that basically means master works or works of a master, basically. So master works. Let's just go with that. Very smooth, even color to the cigar. The draw on it is pretty good so far. That's it. I mean, I gave it a flat cut, as you can see that. Now, I actually said that it was released in November of 2021. Let me just be 100% with that and double check. And it was actually released in October of 2021. Close enough. Look, when you pay $17 for a cigar, which is what the MSRP on this cigar is, and I don't think that it hasn't become a unicorn of any kind or anything like that. Limited edition, but about 63,000 cigars were released. So you can still find these, and you're going to pay about $17 to $18. But what I'm saying is when you pay that much money for a cigar, there are certain expectations, right? Now, Joya de Nicaragua is a fine cigar maker, fine cigar making company. There aren't many concerns for me when I buy a cigar from them. But this is now I believe the fourth or fifth line added to their Obras Maestras, so to their works of art line. So these are their super premium lines. You're going to get a super premium price tag sometimes. Let's get into the specs. The wrapper on this is an Ecuadorian Habano. The binder on this is a Mexican binder, not exactly sure from where. The filler is Dominican, Nicaraguan, and Honduran. So you've got the mixture of the three. Now, Cientos is really in reference to, and I'm just going to look at this right now, it was a cigar created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of when the countries of Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua declared their independence from the Spanish Empire. And this anniversary is on September 15th, 1821. So you see why they wanted to ship it in time for people to have them and smoke a cigar on September 15th, 2021 to commemorate the event. But what happened was, they were late. That's just what happened. So it kind of took away a little bit from that. So if you were an individual that, were able to finally purchase a box, and it's a beautiful box, by the way. We're able to purchase a box, you get it, October 2021, and you see inside of it, there's a special cigar wrapped in tissue paper, really elegantly done, and that is supposed to be the cigar that you smoke on September 15th. In this case, it would have been 2021. But as many found out, they were going to have to wait until 2022 to smoke that special cigar. Kind of not what people wanted, but you know what? Let's find out what the cigar offers. Because that aside, we can forgive that to some extent if the cigar is really good. Really smooth, velvety, hints of chocolate, hints of a medium roasted coffee, a touch of sweetness. Mild to medium at the moment, but it's billed as a medium bodied cigar. Some have indicated that it is more of a medium full. We'll find out. But what I can say is this: just from what I've smoked so far, I'm getting that feeling. You know that feeling we get sometimes when we know we're about to smoke something, or we know we're smoking something that is primo and thoroughly enjoyable. So let's hope that it stays on that track. Now, I've had a tough week because it's been very humid here. And every day, I find myself checking the humidity levels before stepping outside. Today, the humidity is about 52%, 52, 53. It's supposed to drop to about 50 by now. It's about 88 degrees. And it's been a challenge to get myself to enjoy a cigar because of the humidity. And when that occurs, you don't want to bring out an expensive cigar. You don't want to do a review. You don't want to take something special out, of course, because it's probably not going to taste the way you want it to, and you may have combustion issues. So that's something that, as an outdoor backyard cigar smoker, I'm always aware of. Really smooth. It's I've got a little bit of hay. Some earthiness. Let's let it develop a little bit more. Let me tell you how important it is to me to be as correct as I can be in a review. When the humidity is too high, certain cigars take well to a higher ambient humidity level, and can offer you something of a new experience, as opposed to when the humidity levels are lower. But in other cases, combustion issues aside, you may get a cigar that may be very pepper forward. Maybe it will have certain flavor characteristics that you expect or that you are accustomed to, and you'll find those to be a bit muted. And that will, of course, also offer a new experience in how the cigar tastes to you. And it won't be the best experience, in my opinion, because you will be lacking a lot of those additional flavors that you experience when you're at a lower RH. Now, all of that is relevant as well to RH levels in your humidors. So that's how important RH is for cigars, and that's why there's just a difference of opinion across the board on how low should you store your cigars. Should it be 63? Should it be 65? Should it be that lucky number 67? Should it be 69? Should it be the 70-70 rule? Should it be 72? Because they say you can go up to as high as 72. And there's no right or wrong answer necessarily. There are variables here. There are different conditions, different situations. You might live somewhere different, so geography will play a role as well. This cigar is offering up some rich earthiness with a slight bit of pepper, coffee, roasted coffee. At times, I've gotten a little bit of leather in the finish. It's been good so far. It's been kind of what I've expected. Smooth, medium-bodied, nice. There have been at times a little bit of a cocoa note And again, this cigar has been pretty smooth. Despite the fact that it's included in the premium line of Joya de Nicaragua, and it's priced at $17. Despite that, I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm not getting the feel of the ultra premium, other than in the fact that you do feel the high quality tobaccos here. You do feel this very, very well thought out blend that has a lot of balance, and that counts for a lot. Balance counts for a lot. You could say what you want, but when something is well balanced, the way this cigar's blend is, that's impressive. Is it impressive enough to feel ultra premium? Well, that's debatable, right? Subjective. I don't feel that, but then there's still a lot of cigar left, and I can change my mind. So, we talked a little bit about the humidity levels, things like that, RH. And that kind of came up because that's what I've been experiencing for the last couple of days. But maybe I shouldn't be so whiny about it, because you know what? My brothers and sisters out in Sumatra, they have much more to deal with than what I'm dealing with in regards to humid days. And I did do a video about humidity kills good cigars. But, I go back to it for me because I feel as if, I feel that sometimes this is one of the things that people will overlook. Sometimes. Not everybody, but some people do. They overlook the fact that the region you're in, your geography, will sometimes determine what your cigar is going to taste like. I mean, if you're smoking it indoors, obviously in a more controlled environment, then you have less of a concern. But if you're outdoors, then that comes up. Your ambient RH percentage, your humidity levels. Now, with that being said, 53% humidity level here, 88 degrees. If I were to go inside, if I had started this review indoors, 72 degrees, very low RH humidity percentage, how much of a different experience would I be getting? Well, having done this experiment in the past, there'll be some slight differences. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to enjoy the cigar much more or enjoy it less if I'm outdoors. It's just a difference. That's all. Still very smooth, very medium, to the point I don't feel medium full yet. I'm feeling just medium. To make matters worse, a few days ago, the compressor on my central AC unit, got hit by a surge, an electrical surge, and it just blew it out. And what happens then is that, okay, I don't have any humidors that are controlled electrically. I don't have that. I have wooden boxes, like many of us. I have some Tupperdoors and I have some zip bags. I haven't made that move yet to an electric storage. And even in an electric storage, you can have issues too. But in my case, the house starts getting warm, right? And you're used to keeping your home conditioned to 72, 74, whatever it is that people do. Some people do 70, 72. Now the house is at 83. So the first thing that I checked after day 2 was, what's the RH level inside of my humidors? Because even if you've got a Bovita pack in there, 65, 69, that ambient temperature rise is going to affect the humidity levels. So I go to my Daniel Marshall humidor, which I normally keep at around anywhere from 63 to 65, and I see that it's reading 68. Not a good sign. So I make a change with the Boveda packs, a lower Boveda rating. So I think I put in there some 65s just to start. I got 62s as well. And these are, below 65 is not a Boveda that we're accustomed to using, right? But they make them for a reason. I know that a lot of people say, well, the 62s, that's for cannabis. But you can use them for your cigars as well. Because if you're in a high humidity area, then you need lower RH Boveda packs. But I made the switch, burped the Tupper doors, burped everything basically, and left the humidors open even after the change in Boveda pack. Came back the next day, saw some stability, saw the numbers come down just a little bit, but they're not cooperating because of the high temperature in the home. So now I've got to wait for the AC unit to get repaired or replaced. I got to get a whole new one. And when that gets done and back to conditioning the home the way it was, then once again check the humidors and see where they're at. Maybe I need to make a change again. And it's just little things like this that occur. But imagine you're away, right? Imagine you're away. Imagine you don't know what's going on, and you've got these high humidity levels combined with high temperature. And you know what that brings, right? Now, 84 degrees, 83 degrees, and a 69, 70 RH level in your humidor isn't necessarily going to bring you mold or beetles, but it's cutting it close for some folks. For me included, I find it to be a little too close for comfort, if that's a thing. Sweet, some spice in the finish, a little bit of pepper, earthiness, a little bit of hay. The cocoa comes and goes. Is it creamy? A little bit creamy. Not a lot, but a little bit. And it comes and goes as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a fine cigar. I think it's impressive in its blend, in its balance. I think the flavors are very good. I think they offer enjoyment. I think this is a very nice medium-bodied cigar. I think it feels silky, and I think that for me, what I got out of this experience was just a really relaxing, medium-bodied, mild for the first half, in my opinion. It wasn't really ramped up that much. I have to take into account that my humidor shot up to 69, and this cigar was in it over the last 2 days. I have to take that into account, because normally a cigar like this, I like to take it out of the humidor at around 65 RH. That aside, I think it's a pretty good cigar, and a cigar that I think you would enjoy. You might have issues about paying $17 for it, but it's a commemorative, slightly limited edition. I think it's worth a look. I think it's definitely a cigar worth buying if you want to splurge a little. Give it a try. I thought it was pretty good. So I want to thank you all for watching this review. Joya de Nicaragua, Cientos. And if you actually, when you pull off the band and you read what's inside, it says Cientos años de libertad, 200 years of liberty. Pretty cool. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Till next time on Backyard Cigars.